There is a big difference between good artists and champions. Aside from your basic abilities in speed, strength, control, and whatever else is required to master in your particular medium, what's going to set you apart and truly excel isn't whether you have developed mental toughness. Even the fastest, strongest, and most skilled artists will underachieve if they concentrate on the wrong things, are unable to quickly let go of mistakes or bad breaks, lack self-confidence or motivation, or can't handle the pressure of competition. Mental toughness is a way of training your mind right alongside your body, so that you can focus easily, are resilient to failure and setbacks, and know how to address fears, tough critics, nervousness, slumps, and any other obstacles that come your way. One of the most common reasons that artists fall into slumps and/or begin to choke under pressure is that they start to get too serious about their practice and performances at the wrong time. The time to try hard and get serious should only be when you practice and never, ever when you step into the gallery. As a matter of fact, the only constructive form that serious should ever take in relation to your practice and your pursuit of those big dreams is in your dedication and discipline to train. You should only be serious in so much that you want to regularly and consistently work your butt off to get where you really want to go. Serious should never be part of your approach to competition. That is, this really counts now. The collectors are watching. I need to produce. I need to prove myself. I can't let them beat me. I need to win this. Gallery representation depends upon how well I do, etc. When you get serious about the outcome of any painting, sculpture, or video, you inadvertently set yourself up for frustration and failure. A really good example of this is what happens to BFIs who hope to get looked at and possibly play for a MFAE program. As freshmen and sophomores, these artists rarely pressured themselves to produce. They took a much more relaxed approach to their competitions because the outcomes just weren't that important. Because they didn't focus on outcome, and instead, kept their focus on the performance, one moment at a time, they stayed calm, loose and composed, and therefore, performed to their potential. However, come junior and/or senior years, the times that are said to be critical for college coaches to see you, these very same artists change everything. Because the outcome of their performances is suddenly important, they stop focusing on the process of their performances, or the moment-by-moment experience of just playing and competing, and instead, they concentrate on all that's at stake. Many put time pressures on themselves in the process, that is, I only have this season to prove myself, and if I don't, there goes my chance of getting a college scholarship. In this way, they get serious about their art, and this seriousness tightens their muscles, distracts them from the task at hand, and completely destroys their performances. If you really and truly want to catch the attention of a MFAE program, if you really and truly want to increase your chances of getting a college scholarship, then you need to start today to put your serious into your practicing, not your competitions. Use your desire to paint in college to motivate you to work hard every day. Use it to drive you to do the little extra, sweaty, uncomfortable things. Don't ever use your desire to sculpt in college to create a sense of urgency and time pressure on yourself in either practice or competition. Don't use it to beat yourself up in practice because you're not performing the way that you think college coaches would want you to. When you do that, the only thing that you will be successful in is turning yourself into an anxious, frustrated, poorly performing mess. Your goals and dreams should serve one purpose for you. They are meant to be a motivational tool to get you to work harder in practice. If you are using them to threaten yourself or to try to get a higher level of performance out of yourself, then you are badly misusing them. Remember, the serious in your medium should be relegated to how hard and how often you work. Your serious should drive your work ethic and training and nothing else. Bring that same serious and now what really counts way of thinking to a competition with you, and you will end up continuing to choke and slump. It's always fascinating to me how much emotional and physical energy gets wasted by artists when they focus on and worry about their competitors. I used to beat him all the time, but now he's beginning to catch me. You know, they were undefeated last year and their lineup is even better this year. How can we possibly beat them? If I lose to her, I am going to be so upset with myself. Concentrating on your opponent and obsessing about winning will do a lot of things for you. It will get you overly nervous. It will erode your self-confidence. It will psych you out. It will guarantee that you paint poorly. It will contribute to your losing to this particular opponent. It will always leave you frustrated and disappointed after the show. However, what it will never do for you is increase your chances of performing to your potential. If you're hung up on winning and losing, and too worried about your opponent beating you, then listen up. You have this art thing all wrong. If your goals are to win or to beat someone else, you're setting yourself up to fail. It's not about the competition. It's about you. Let me explain. The father of legendary UCLA basketball coach, John Wooden, used to tell his Hall of Fame son, never try to be better than someone else, but never cease trying to be the best that you can be. The true purpose of art and competition is to put yourself in a situation where you try to push your own envelope, where you try to excel based on your own abilities and potential. Real winning, in other words, is not about the outcome of the painting or sculpture. It is about whether you painted to the very best of your abilities. I have a lot of grants in my office from my days as a competitive performance artist. Some of these represent performances where I finished in first place, but didn't really win. That is, a number of these championship grants were given to me after I played some of the ugliest movements of my life. I had been seeded number 1 and expected to win. I was terrified of losing and what people would say if I lost. As a result, I performed tentatively and poorly, a mere fraction of my capabilities. I won first place, but the win brought me no satisfaction. Being an artist means that you go out every day and compete against yourself. It requires that you stop getting hung up on the uncontrollable and misplaced goal of winning, and instead focus on playing like a winner. It requires that you focus on playing your own game instead of allowing your opponent or the game importance to dictate how you play. It means striving to be the best that you can be. Most dedicated artists spend just about the same amount of time practicing every week. They drill their skills, push their bodies in conditioning workouts, and maybe even do regular strength training. Why is it then, that within this group, only a select few artists consistently improve and excel to a level far beyond their teammates in the competition? To me, the answer is quite simple. What you put in is what you get out. If you're not depositing quality time in your practices every day, then your return will be minimalism. Far too many artists tend to just go through the motions. They're out there in the studio looking like artists, painting, sculpting, photographing. However, as they do this, the lights are on and no one is really home. That is, mentally they're out to lunch as they train. They wish they were doing something else. They're watching the clock or are complaining incessantly to themselves and their teammates about how they hate doing what they're doing. If your mind and heart are not into what you are doing right now, today, then you are seriously limiting your development as an artist. Today's practice and the drill that you're engaged in right now is what's going to help you become a champion. In fact, your attitude has to be that the drill or sprint you're doing right now is the most important one of the season. Can you imagine how much more you'd put into your practices if you knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that your success this season completely depended upon how hard you went and how focused you were in this drill, right now? It would be a no-brainer for you. If your personal goals were on the line and in your face for each practice, then you'd train with an intensity and passion that would be scary good. You'd never watch the clock or think, I just can't wait until this practice is over. To become a champion, you have to get in the habit of champions, making each practice count. You have to be mentally, physically and emotionally into what you're doing, while you're doing it. You have to make each and every one of your practices important to you. You have to be able to link what you're doing today and right now with your ultimate goals and dreams in the sport. You have to be able to regularly ask yourself, how is what I'm doing right now going to help me get where I want to go? When you do this, your investment in your training will take on a much higher quality. And, as a result, you'll start improving. Don't wait for the next drill for tomorrow's practice. Make each session count because, if you're serious about becoming a champion, each session counts. When you go through the motions or in other ways blow off your practice, you can never get that one back. Never. It's lost and you've just given your competition a slight edge over you. The most important time to train is today, and the most important drill is this one, right now. Put your head and heart into it. Don't hold back. Don't save yourself. Don't hold back.